In Portland, Oregon, a man attacked two Muslim women, and this story is very significant for a whole lot of reasons. We've seen an increase in attacks on Muslims, and what I've been concerned about is an increase in attacks on even non-Muslims, people that may be confused for Middle Eastern people, but that obviously puts the spotlight on Middle Eastern immigrants inside the United States, a potential for people to be targeted. We've already read about Sikhs, which are non-Muslims, being shot at. And these things have been increasing. There are things that people told me about the world because they wanted things to be a certain way years ago. You know, well, Alex, your name is never going to raise any flags. Or, you know, you're just viewed as a regular white guy. And when you travel and when you see what the world is really like, and when you walk in my shoes for just 5 minutes and you see what's changed in the last 2 years alone, forget 9/11, things got crazy in the last 2 to 1 year. Meaning, this is not a collective shift in consciousness. No, we have not been saved by Donald Trump. No, we have not been saved by Barack Obama. No, we have not been saved by the Pleiadians. We have to save ourselves from this insane asylum. I look at the story of violence in Portland. Other things come up. I've talked about Portland being a portal. People hurting other people. You have a lot of really intense energies that sometimes flow through that city. This isn't just about Portland. We can look at other people acting like they're possessed. We can look at people calling for racism against white babies. We can see the so-called real Israelites on YouTube calling for violence against whites. And I'm appalled when I see that. I see a spirit of evil. And I feel like I'm battling the ethnocentric aspects of our Western society when I try to tell people this is a battle of good and evil. There is something trying to divide us. There is something trying to tear us apart. We've got to heal from the trauma. We've never healed from the trauma of 9/11. And this isn't the day to tell my story, but it comes down to it. I, in a unique way, have suffered from it. It's not a normal thing for me to go through. It's not like others. If someone asks me about my ethnicity, being that my father was born in Afghanistan, what about where I was born in Portland in 1980? What about the things that I write about? What about the things that I talk about? I live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where I feel more secure living off the grid. But if I want to go into the grid and get a simple dishwashing job, even have an interest, the question of what's your ethnicity, folks, for me, it's a different experience. Some of you, and there's an important reason why you should understand this is happening, because if it could be done to others, it could be done to you. I realize now there are many women that don't realize that Middle Eastern men have been demonized as rapists, and there's trauma that comes with that. This video is here to highlight that, and I'm sharing this with all with the eyes to see and ears to hear. It hurts to not only go through the experience of even seeing people you thought were your friends on the internet, people in the independent media go in that direction, fall for the race baiting, fall for the propaganda. I certainly know what it's like to be truly politically independent. I can tell you that much. As well as an independent thinker with regards to spiritual views. Coming to my own understanding of things, my own gnosis, is a word that I often use, which actually does come from the Western culture. I've always found myself interested with the West and the East. The best of the East and the West. Cuisine, entertainment, language, dance, music. One could even say women. But humans in general. The beauty throughout the world. I've always appreciated it. And we're going to get back to our main topic, but you're always going to get a larger outside-the-box spiritual perspective if you're going to watch a video of mine. There's a reason why we're here on Earth, to hash out these perceptions of differences. I now believe there's a reason my soul, however big it is, picked these genetics to have this experience. And I am blessed to have been protected this long. I see stories out of Portland also, though, about an Iranian who had his home vandalized. And then other things. I'll tell you what, folks, I've been frustrated there aren't more people of Middle Eastern origin discussing some of these topics within society without fear. And I believe that fear has infected them, affected them. Fear of persecution. Hell, even I've been affected somewhat by the constant exposure to not only the racism, but early on after 9/11, reading about Afghanis and Iraqis being tortured and raped.